Welcome to the story of part 2 of Watford's 2000-2001 season. But first, some reflections on part 1, season that had started in style. The first home win secured with Dominic Foley against Barnsley, and had continued with an excellent victory against Sheffield United, the return of Gifton Noel-Williams, and Micah Hyde also getting in the scoring. The goals continued to flow. Alan Nielsen, Gifton Noel-Williams, that a real peach against Queen's Park Rangers. But into November, and Tranmere 2-0 winners over Watford, and Preston 3-2 winners over Watford. A month that had ended in disappointment. Preston winning in the Vicarage Road rain. And this is how the table looked. Watford second, 9 points behind Fulham, as they were to begin December away at 5th in the table Bolton. Graham Seller making the point after the run Watford have had. It's important that they settle. And of course, having lost their game to the weather last week, yet the early momentum is crucial. This is Warhurst. Oh dear, now Smith, and he's made him pay for it, and Watford take the lead, and Paul Warhurst is a picture of despair, and Tommy Smith makes him pay the full price for that defensive howler. Jaskalainen sold well short by that, and Smith, with the confidence that he's shown all season, has put Watford into the lead. Good finish. This is Gardner. Still Gardner. Good save by Bardson. The big goalkeeper, so anxious to impress, did well with this because Gardner struck it well. It was banned for the top corner, but he took off and flew spectacularly. Robinson. Watford still looking to try and get the second. Tommy Smith, it's the wrong side of the post. Here they come again. Hansen's gone all the way. And again, Espen Bardson stands defiant. Aaron Ward trying to police the substitute. That's a good stop. Farrelly went for glory. And Bardson makes another good save. It's even better from this angle. Ian Marshall. This is Farrelly. Plenty of pressure on. Page has waited and waited and might pay for it. Bardson's had to come. Gardner. It's 1-1. And hesitancy proved fatal. Bolton really have been a very different side since Marshall came on. Page. Oh dear, and there might be something on here, and Marshall has surely won it for Bolton Wanderers. It's 2-1. And so to Selhurst Park. This match really all about the second half. Nielsen, this is Robinson. And Palace trying to work themselves an opening. Good determination about Watford. And Nielsen. Tommy Smith set him up. It was a good save as well. This turning the screw. Morrison, 1-0. They didn't clear it. More pressure. This is Friedman. Good save by Bartson. Two home games followed, and before the first of them, Graham Taylor went and got Carlton Palmer on loan from Coventry. Hughes robbed by Palmer. To Smith. Hyde makes the option inside him. Smith still going, not a bad cross either. And Butler puts past his own goalkeeper. Palmer been very influential. This is Smith, now Hyde. Noel Williams offers the forward run. Nielsen, Robinson, Mooney, looks up. What about that? Saw the goalkeeper off his line. And that's a delicious lob by Tommy Mooney. Another look surely at this. Takes aim. Keeper's a yard off his line and is beating a hasty retreat, but not hasty enough. Well, the half-time team talk will certainly have fired West Brom up, that's for sure. Hughes! Almost the perfect start to the second period. Little offers the outside option. Hughes though! It's 2-1. And West Brom right back in it. That's his corner. Mooney might have another try. Good save. Very good stop. Mooney at the first time, but knocked off a defender the second time. Great stop. Sneaks. Oh, and it's gone in. It looked no more than a cross. They're now the team that are full of confidence, and Watford are chasing shadows. This is Jason Roberts. 3-2 West Brom. What a transformation. Unbelievable. They looked out of it at 2 down. What can Watford offer from here? Nielsen. Oh, and they're in trouble. Mooney, great chance. Still has the chance. 3-3. An astonishing match. Takes another amazing turn. Mooney does the burglary. And the ball makes an unforced entry in the back of the net. 3-3 the score. Benatza, new arrival and very anxious to impress. This is Kennedy. Now for Vuta. What can the Flying Dutchman do? Kennedy might be in a better position. This is Kennedy. Target Mooney! Well, he's lifted the roof off the stand once, and I dread to think what it would have happened if it had gone in. Great positioning. Flying header absolutely right. Direction just wrong. So Watford in 5th place as the Christmas programme began. 1 point behind West Bromwich Albion with 2 games in hand. The first of those Christmas games, another home one against Huddersfield, the reverse of day one. Bardson didn't get. Clearance away was by Mooney. And this is a chance for Enlove. And the Terriers have the lead. He wasn't picked up. This is Palmer now for Nielsen. Carlton Palmer again. Vanatza square up as in one option. Vanatza. And here he... Oh dear! It's in! It's an own goal. And Watford are on level terms. And there was nobody near him. Just didn't get the direction right. Communication problem with the goalkeeper. And Watford square it. Palmer chases back. Oh, and didn't get. This is Facey. And Bardson cannot keep it out. It's 2-1 to Huddersfield Town. Palmer now for Huddersfield to try and work another opening. Bardson. Mooney knocks on Helgeson. And the keeper hasn't got. Helgeson again. And Watford have nothing more than a corner. The goalkeeper dropped it. There were enough defenders around. Not the way anyone wanted to start the Christmas programme or prepare for the trip to runaway leaders Fulham on Boxing Day. And 1-L, and it was Helgeson. Ward and Hales, and the referee's given the penalty. Sahar, it's 1-0 Fulham. How much you wonder as that penalty changed the course of the game. Hales, it's 2. Really at the moment are on the retreat once again, and Barry Hales makes it 3. Hales, his hat-trick is complete. It's 4-0. Some great stuff that Fulham are playing, but the Watford contingent are not enjoying this one iota. No tidings of comfort and joy for them here. And the chance for 5 is completed by Stolkers. And so to the bleak midwinter, a freezing cold Friday in Barnsley, and hopes for a change in fortune. Cox with space. Nielsen wants it far side. Wasn't far away. Mooney. Now opportunity might knock. And in by Nielsen. Well, he probably doesn't mind the cold, but he's warmed us all up, who've made the long journey from Hertfordshire. Great ball across. And Nielsen, unmarked and unannounced. Smith's ball back in. 1-0. And 1 goal was enough to end that long disappointing run, and Watford ended the year in 8th place on 40 points as they prepared for the first match of 2001 at home against Wimbledon. Could they record back-to-back victories? Robinson, big, strong and powerful Wimbledon team. And Watford know they're going to have their hands full. Gale! What a good start for Wimbledon. Worked it well. It's the corner. Ward back in. And Mooney in the net for 1-1. The response virtually instant. And Tommy Mooney levels it. Wimbledon at the moment forced on the back foot. This is Cox. And Mooney! Great header. Watford in front with a real textbook goal. Neil Cox, left-footed cross. Look at the jump by Mooney. Between the two defenders, 2-1 to the Hornets. Oh, Williams. Worked again. Noel Williams still going. And in. And Noel Williams gets himself back on the goal scoring chart. It was a well-worked goal as well. Good control. No chance for Davis in goal. Now Smith. Can they wrap this up in style? Doesn't look as though there's any doubt where the points are going. Cox. Wimbledon playing catch ball. Carlton Palmer. That's nice. This is Cox. Lovely move. Smith. No Williams. Back-to-back victories secured. Time for the captain to reflect.
The perfect start to 2001.
Yeah, couldn't be better. Not only did we get the 3 points, but you know, we give a good performance as well.
Has that been one of the best things? I mean, before everybody went to Barnsley on Friday, I think you'd have settled for any win by whatever means. But to have ended the run with two performances that had a little bit of style about them must be a nice ending to a horrible few weeks.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, before the Barnsley game, I said to the boys before the game, I said, you know, it doesn't matter how we get the result, even if we've got to fight the result out, let's just get the 3 points. Didn't matter how we played. But an extra bonus after that game was that we played particularly well as well. And again, today against Wimbledon, we've done extremely well. Not only did we, you know, get the points, like I said earlier, but we give a good account of ourselves. And against a team like that, you've actually got to win the battles first before you can, you know, get the ball down and start playing with it. And I was really pleased today.
People would say, having gone a goal down, the crucial moment was probably to have got back on level terms so quick. Is that a fair way of looking at it?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And, you know, we couldn't have equalised at a better time. I think it was within a minute. Sloppy goal again to give away, but some strike from him. So, I mean, you know, it just goes to show the character of the lads again. We've gone a goal down after 10 minutes. Within a minute, we've equalised, and then we go on to win the game comfortably.
And closed the game down well, because I think, without wishing to hark back on it, in one of the runs, in the disappointing run you had, first 10-15 minutes of the second halves wouldn't be regarded as Watford's finest hours.
No, that's right. And then there was a lot of talk about that, and then, you know, the players, because players do it's only natural, and players start to think about it, and the more you think about it, the more it affects you. So, you know, sometimes it's best just forgetting things like that and cracking on. Thankfully now we've got over that, and you know, we're back on track again.
In 2001, I mean, you're right in the thick of it, with everything to play for.
Definitely, it's still early doors, though, Mike. You know, we've got a long way to go. But if we play like we did in the last two games, then, you know, I'm no doubt in my mind that we'll be up there at the end of the season.
It was to be quite a week for Robert Page. The FA Cup against Everton 5 days later. Just get the feeling the first goal will be important. This is now a chance for Mooney. It's in. It didn't want to, but it has. Off the post and agonisingly along the line. But the First Division side are in front. Noel Williams is knocked down. Now Mooney. This was agony. Look at this. Off the post, along the line, and finally into the net. Ferguson looking to try and really work something here. And he might do. And Hughes, not far away. It was a good ball and a good move. And that's her away. The pressure is coming from the Merseysiders. They're fighting for their lives and for their pride. Cox's header. Oh, Chamberlain has to go full stretch. That'll cost him one afterwards. In the end, no crisis, but nearly another self-inflicted wound, which has been the problem in recent weeks. Chamberlain just able to clear it. And the referee's blown, and Page has already been booked, and Mr. Styles, who's thrown cards round all afternoon, throws two in the direction of the Watford captain, who is sent off. And that's a great goal. That is a superb strike by Stephen Hughes, and Everton have levelled it at 1-1. He must have thought they had a real chance. Robinson now looks to try and do it again. The clearance, and the whistle has gone, and Joe Max Moore has cleared it away, and he is also going to be sent off. Well, Mr. Styles has made a nonsense of this all day. Robinson. And it's just tipped over Helgeson's ball as Watford go for the kill. It's a great header, just dipping, and the goalkeeper had to get it right and did. And it's looking like Goodison Park. Time is running out. Everton will go for it, you can be certain of that. Now maybe a chance, and Watson has surely won it at the death. All the talk was of the performance of referee Rob Styles, as Watford turn their attention back to the league and a trip to Sheffield United. Mooney, still going! Just for a moment I thought it had gone in. Great strike by Mooney. Well, we've been playing just about an hour, and this is the clearest opportunity. Just for a moment we thought it had gone in. Cox's free kick. Mooney this time has gone in. And Mr. Dependable's left foot puts Watford into the lead. It looked an acute angle, but he played it right the way across, and the goalkeeper had his near post covered and was done at the far post. Watford lead by 1-0, looking for their third straight league win. Good control again. Nielsen might have a go. Next came the chance to avenge the Boxing Day nightmare against the leaders Fulham at a packed Vicarage Road. Smith makes a good run. He makes a very good run, and Mooney couldn't get the power that he wanted. And Mike Taylor should have been picking this out of the net, no question. Mooney did it all right, but didn't get the power, and Taylor was able to save it. Really, that should be 1-0 Watford. They're combining well, Boamorte! Well, the Watford fans thought he should have been sent off in the first half. Good work again, here's Boamorte, and the keeper's had to come, and Alec Chamberlain has no chance, and Fulham have doubled their lead. Nielsen with the throw. And Helgeson, the substitute, gets it. Well, my first reaction was he might have handled it over the line, but the goal is scored. Fulham, though, are not done with yet. Saha! It's 3-1. Time to move off the pitch to acknowledge a very special achievement. 1,000 league games for Graham Taylor as manager. Barry Fry, John Duncan, amongst the managers past and present attending, along with Frank Clark of the League Managers Association, FA Chief Executive Adam Crozier, and George Graham, whose Director of Football at Tottenham, David Pleat, made the main speech.
In 28 seasons, Graham has brought immense pleasure to thousands of supporters who have shared pride in their team. A local person, he has done splendid things from Lincoln to Watford. He has a loyal, supportive family, which is so necessary for those lonely moments of isolation when you are desperately disappointed. In Rita and his children, he has had the perfect partners. Many people, even within our profession, don't realise how much work Graham has done within the Coaching Association, and particularly his vision and commitment in setting up the LMA.
Because I have a very, very big saying close to me that headlines don't make heroes. That in fact there are many, many people that never reach headlines, and that they have an effect, they touch people's lives, and we never hear about them, we never know about them. We have both an advantage and a disadvantage in football because we're in the headlines pretty well all of the time, but that should not stop us from having effect on touching people's lives, hopefully for the good. And if I've been able to do just a small part of that, then I'm very thankful for being able to do just that. Finally, I would like to say, and I hope that you can see, I'm very, very much appreciative of all of your attendance today. I take that as a great honour for myself, and I would thank you very, very much for your attendance. Thank you.
Then it was time for mementos. Frank Clark, on behalf of the Managers Union, the League Managers Association. Jack Taylor, former World Cup final referee, on behalf of the league sponsors nationwide. And Steve Curry, with a special award from Carling, the Premier League sponsors.
I know you're a manager that knows everything. How much of a surprise were some of those guests here today?
Oh, a very big surprise, and very, very pleased. I feel very honoured, and in some cases quite humble. Some of the people who've attended on what is a very busy day for football people. A Thursday is a very important day in terms of team preparation.
Saw your face when you saw Bill Nicholson. That's particularly special.
Well, you know, for somebody like Bill Nicholson to come and on a tribute to me, I mean, just thinking that will stay with me for the rest of my life, because I mean, Bill belongs to an era where they were my heroes.
If I'd have said to you the day you came off the pitch, having had your first match in charge at Lincoln, that we'd be gathered here celebrating 1,000 games and you'd have achieved so much and won the admiration and affection of the whole of football, would you believe me?
Well, no, you don't. I mean, at that time, I was a young man coming into the game, and our first 11 games we didn't win at Lincoln, so you don't expect to say we drew 7 of them and lost 4. And that's a little bit of pressure then, early days, so no, you wouldn't have believed that it would go. You wouldn't even have thought about it, or I certainly wouldn't.
And how nice to see Rita sitting alongside you, because I know, as David Pleat said in his remarks, the family means so much to Graham Taylor.
Well, very much so. I mean, my 2 girls are now grown up and away, with grandchildren obviously, but Rita and I have been married quite a long time, and have known one another a long time. Yes, she's been very good.
Very different emotions for Graham Taylor on the field after the match at Norwich, which followed the Saturday after. Again, good pressure. And they make it count, though. That's the key point. This is Helgeson! And they're in front. Good work coming in. And Noel Williams took him. Now, what's the referee going to do here? And Noel Williams already yellow carded, collects a second yellow, and with it a red. And Watford are down to 10. And it's come for Niedergaard. It's 1-1. And Chamberlain, who played so well, had no chance. Chamberlain's punch under pressure. Marshall, it's back in. And Norwich lead 2-1. An extraordinary turnaround. And Watford heading north for their next match away at Sheffield Wednesday. Smith for Helgeson, and the effort is in by Venatza. His first goal in a Watford shirt, and the Hornets are in front. It's well knocked down as well, and Venatza screams at Nielsen, mine, and scores. Feature of the early play has been total lack of defending on both sides, and Gerard Seaborn ties it up at 1-1. This is Mooney. Support arriving from Cox, and now from Palmer. Right the way across for Nielsen, and Ward. And Mooney jumps, and Ward scores, and Watford back in front. Extraordinary build-up, really. Look at Mooney, jumped out of the way. 2-1 Watford. Hopefully the defenders will all arrive at some stage, but now another opportunity for Wednesday. 2-2, yes, from Efenakoku. The fourth goal of an extraordinary first half. Smith. This is Venatza. And now maybe, yes, for Tommy Smith. And for the third time, Watford lead. Venatza played the ball through. And will it be third time lucky for Graham Taylor's men? This time they did hold on as they prepared to face Portsmouth at Vicarage Road. Venatza, referee, rather in the way, but Venatza's still going, and Venatza's still going. Great run, Helgeson, and in. It's Tommy Smith. It's the perfect start for Watford. Helgeson doing well, the keeper could only parry. Smith first to the afters. And Smith doubles Watford's lead. Very well struck with his left foot. He didn't have time to do anything else than have one go at it from the knockdown, but one go was enough. And it's gone in by Kouachi. They didn't cut the cross out and they didn't mark the man. And the former QPR player gets Portsmouth back in it at 2-1. We're into stoppage time. This is Claridge working well, trying to play the ball across, and Claridge with a chance! And the player manager levels it at 2-2. What an extraordinary game. Helgeson held off but did well to find Smith, who's got Nielsen outside him, but Smith has gone on. Now can he get the cross in? He can. The return for Helgeson. Did it right, and it bounced over. It was only a draw. Time for Tommy Smith to reflect on that game.
Extra disappointing because it started so well.
Yeah, I think so. You always want to win at home anyway. And the way we went 2-0 up, I thought we were going to go on and win it comfortably.
And from your point of view, I mean, we talked at Sheffield last week, and you'd made the point, hopefully, that the goal was the springboard. To have got 2 this afternoon must have at least given you something to look back on with pleasure from it.
Yeah, obviously it was pleasing for me, but the main thing is trying to get 3 points, so it was a bit disappointing in the end that we didn't.
Very different goals. The first one, a vintage piece of Smith burglary, he'd done that before, and a lovely touch for the second one.
Yeah, I did really well on the first one, and the keeper just parried it to me, so that was simple enough. And the second one, Big Wardy just flicked it on, and I was there at the near post.
You got the right side of the defender. I mean, that was the critical moment, wasn't it? Once you were there, you just needed a fraction of a second. It was always going in the bottom corner.
Yeah, it was, and he just went asleep a little bit, and I nicked in front of him, so that was quite pleasing.
And in the second half, disappointing, but I mean, the 2 best chances fell to Watford, and another day they'd have gone in.
Yeah, I think so. I think Hyder was really disappointed with his header on another. I mean, 9 times out of 10 he's going to score that, and the same with Pete. It was on his right foot, which is his weak side, but again, he'd still fancy him to score. So there's still something to take out the game.
The biggest disappointment is you scored 2 goals at home, and it's not been enough to get you 3 points. Correct?
Yeah, I think so. But we're still optimistic, and we're looking forward to the Crew game.
Great expectations there may have been, but this will not go down as one of Watford's most memorable trips of the season. Working it nicely, and Rodney Jack scores. They've started really well, Crew. Smith scored 3 in the last 2. And the effort. Mooney, Kennedy. Saved by the goalkeeper. And in by Dean Ashton. The youngster doubles Crew's advantage. Cox, good save. Very well stopped from an excellent strike. Time for another look at the league table, with Watford in 6th and approaching a home game with 3rd-placed Blackburn Rovers. And this was another one of those eventful Vicarage Road nights. It's well done to try and get the opening in, and it might run for Nielsen. Helgeson knocked it down, and Nielsen not able to hit the target. And Bent, and he goes down under Page's challenge. It's a free kick. And the referee, in fact, has gone for his pocket and has sent Page off. And for the 2nd time in 6 weeks, Robert Stiles sends Robert Page off. Well, I find that extraordinary. It's not normal for Watford players to protest like this. They're clearly furious. But Page has to go. Oh, and Helgeson, who has already been booked, and this could be more trouble. And the referee's gone to his pocket again. And Helgeson is off. And Watford are down to 9. And Mr. Stiles, for the 2nd match running at this club, sends 2 players off. They fought and battled hard. But now a chance for Blackburn. This is Bent. And Watford's luck's run out. And Bent may well have won it for Rovers. Another Lancashire side, Stockport, were the visitors to Vicarage Road 5 days later. This is Helgeson. Well with Nielsen, this is Cox on the overlap. And Smith didn't get it, Helgeson! Oh! That would have been some goal. How on earth? He's been watching Higuita, the goalkeeper, again. Look at this. It wasn't too far over either. Stockport battling for survival, of course. We're talking about it even at this stage. This is Wilbraham, and they have the lead. He turned Darren Ward, and the man who scored at Edgeley Park has scored here as well. You have to say, you wonder where a Watford goal is coming from. This is Page. Now, can Vuta at last get in the space? That's not a bad cross! And Mooney's got it at last! Wonderful cross from Vuta. Met first time by Mooney. And the Hornets are level. Kennedy in. And Nielsen! The match totally transformed. And Alan Nielsen may well have grabbed the most unlikely 3 points for Watford. Kennedy's free kick. 10 minutes ago they really looked as though they were out of it. Now they lead by 2-1. Robinson. Oh dear, oh dear. And it might be an opportunity. Page must clear. And he's gone down, the referee says play on. Chance for Stockport, this is Wilbraham. It's 2-2. And right at the death, Stockport have squared it. March began with the first trip to Birmingham City since the famous playoff semi-final penalty win 2 years earlier. Cox's efforts. Very well struck. Keeper making ground well. Pushing and shoving all over the place. Twists and turns. This is Nicky Eden. And Bardson never saw it. It's 1-0 Birmingham. Good turn and good goal by Hughes. The points stay at St Andrews. 5 days later, the short trip to West London and Queen's Park Rangers. Mooney. And Smith is in the clear. And the keeper did well. He stood his ground as Smith steamed in. And over the top by Peacock. Was a real chance for Queen's Park Rangers. Smith twists and turns, good save. Nielsen's throw had unlocked the door, and Smith unable to put the key in it just. Crouch still going and goes down, and the referee says penalty. He said penalty for the challenge. Peacock's chance, good save by Bardson, but the referee has ordered it to be retaken. Andy D'Urso involved in controversy in this fixture 2 years ago. This is Ngongi against his old club. And Queen's Park Rangers lead. And that's it. This is Smith. It's not a bad cross either. And it's there by Alan Nielsen. Didn't need too much of a touch from a great ball by Tommy Smith. Look at this, Nielsen, just a touch was what was needed, and it's 1-1. Going all out for it, Mooney. with games starting to run out. 2 home games in 4 days faced Watford, starting with Norwich City. These two teams met just 6 weeks ago in Norfolk, so they know quite a bit about each other. Norwich certainly not feeling under pressure, as Forbes gives them the lead with an excellent header. Nielsen, Mooney, this is Vuta, still going. This is a lovely run by Vuta. Can he finish it? Oh, he can! And the Hornets faithful get what they want. A real quality strike by Nordin Vuta. He ran straight through the lot of them, and the goalkeeper didn't get his angle right. And Watford level. That's what they teach them at Ajax. Nielsen, save. It with tremendous power. Smith. And the bounce actually favoured Watford. This is Smith on the way. Still Smith. It'll open up for him. Another goal of top quality. It's as if Nordin Vuta's goal threw down the bait here. And Tommy Smith's delightful chip finds the corner. Look at that. Goalkeeper no chance. Now Robinson. Helgeson did well. And the trouble is as he runs straight into Tommy Smith. Mooney to his right, Helgeson to his left. This is Helgeson. Totally turned on its head. It's 3-1. And it's well taken by Helgeson. Nielsen. Still going. Helgeson. Lovely touch by Benatza, and Nielsen scores. Great football. Helgeson and Benatza claim the assists, and Nielsen makes it 4-1. Good finish, and just the victory that Watford needed. 4 goals to 1. So to the rearranged game against Burnley, postponed amid water everywhere last November. Smith. It's a good ball through, he just couldn't get on the end of it. Helgeson went down, the referee not interested. And Nielsen. And the goalkeeper, Mikopoulos, got his body behind it very well. No, he did spill it. And in the end, it's gone through and in. Taylor the scorer. And Watford rocked. Hyde. Desperately need to get this back. Mooney. No penalty, says the referee. A combination of a Gillingham postponement and international week meant it was 18 days before Watford went to West Brom, 2 days before which Graham Taylor's retirement had been announced. Now Smith. Great chance. Graham Taylor leaves the director's box. Little plays the ball forward, and the goal is scored by Quinn. Bardson comes and doesn't get, and Hughes! It's 2. And deflected in. It's 3 by Clements. Watford needed that out of their systems quickly, and Nottingham Forest at home came very fast. Smith's chase might give him an opportunity here. Noel Williams is the player arriving! Oh, bingo! The quality cross met with the quality finish. And it's a case of pass the goalie to the left-hand side. Great goal by Noel Williams. Perfect start for Watford. Oh, right the way across, and the second goal is scored by Tommy Mooney. Not this well. And the opportunity, agonisingly wide by Johnson. That's well chested down. And Mooney! That's 19 for the season. And that settles it. Mooney's best ever tally for the season, secured with those 2 goals in that 3-0 victory. The smile really said it all.
Well, Tommy, not a bad season for goal scoring. That takes you up to 19. How satisfying is that for a striker?
Yeah, it's very pleasing. Obviously, as a forward, you're judged on goals, and I've had a good year up to now. Hopefully there's a few more to come.
Because it hasn't been a great run for the team, just 2 wins in 10 games. That was important to get the points tonight. What's been going wrong?
We've not played well, simple as that. We've not created chances, and we've not scored enough goals to win the games. We've made silly defensive mistakes, but if you're scoring goals, you can take care of that. But hopefully we've got the running now. Hopefully we'll go out. If we play as well as we did tonight, then great, but winning the games is what's important.
And so to the Eagles landing at Vicarage Road. Might be an opportunity. Page has come back on Fuller, and the referee's given the penalty. Austin with the chance and takes. And Palace go into the lead. Hyde. Oh, Williams almost sat down. Smith deflected by Harrison. With what part of his anatomy, I wonder? No Williams here. There's Smith. Well, referee saw nothing wrong. And this time, it's in. It's Alan Nielsen. And Watford finally get themselves back on level terms. Nielsen jumped well. Corner of the net. Now, who is the momentum with? This is Palmer. For Natsa. And that's some goal by Mooney. Number 20 of the season. And in front of his beloved Army as well. The pirouette was impressive. And they'll dance in the high street tonight. Watford ahead 2-1. Palace will not be denied, you know, and it's gone through! And it went through the legs, and Tommy Black has made it 2-2. 6 games to go, and Easter Saturday takes Watford to Graham Taylor's homeland and Grimsby. So again, good work by Palmer this time. Now Mooney, it's on that left foot, and it's in the back of the net again. Left foot, so reliable and well struck, and the Hornets have the lead. Must be really battling hard, and there's so many defenders in that box, and they haven't picked up the man at the far post, and it's Ian Handysides, and it's 1-1. Good cross again, oh, right the way through, and Caldicott gets the touch. Disaster for Watford. Next to visit Vicarage Road, another team dear to Graham Taylor's heart, his former club, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Oh, Williams, and Smith again on the charge. Now, looks up, sees what's on, and it's Mooney! Number 22 for the Hornets, number 9. But again, Smith the supplier. The defence square. The penalty paid. Good jump by Noel Williams. This is Smith. Still going. Oh, beautifully done. On his wrong foot as well. Well, Mooney's left foot was an option, and he didn't need him. It's 2-0 Watford, and it's a great strike by Smith. Look, Mooney was unmarked to his left, but he took the responsibility. And Smith being pulled all over the place by Connolly, who is in trouble here. And Mr. Jones produces the red card. And under the laws of the game, he had no option. And the back well, Robinson pushing him all over the place. He's gone down, and the referee's given the penalty. And gets Wolves right back into it at 2-1. Nielsen off the post with the goalkeeper really struggling. And it wouldn't have counted anyway because the flag is up. It was a wonderful piece of skill by Alan Nielsen. Mooney with the follow-up, but again the whistle had gone. And back in. Proudlock, and in! How did that get in the net? Asked the Watford defence, but Adam Proudlock's levelled it at 2-2. Cox's corner. No, Williams, and in, but it won't count. The whistle's gone. The referee put his whistle to his lips. Either Helgeson. Now with the chance to really make a mark. Smith, and Helgeson walks it in, and surely this time the substitutes won it. Positioning to perfection. What about this for a ball across the face of the goal though? And Helgeson arrived first. 3-2 to Watford. A vital win, but could they win again in another crucial clash at Preston's Deepdale ground on Sky Television? Well done again. And they came right the way across. Palmer and Chamberlain, he's gone down. And the referee's given the penalty. Former Luton man. And Alexander gives Preston the lead. And drilled in for John Macken. He was unmarked, and Preston's lead is doubled. Done. Oh, lovely from Noel Williams. A goal virtually out of nothing. And the young keeper is beaten at last with a really good header. Set up nicely by Cox. Comes the corner. And there is Robert Page, who came in. And Page scores only his third goal for Watford, and it could be crucial. Well, Cox had that one off the bar, and now Page has squared it. Look at his positioning, he just got the faintest of touches, and Watford are level. Here they come again, Preston. It's been a riveting spectacle, this. And you just wonder whether there are more goals in it even yet. And this is a chance for Macken! And Preston are back in front. It was a result that left even Graham Taylor admitting Watford needed snookers to reach the playoffs. But Taylor's last home game against Tranmere was always going to be emotional. Chased through. Watford really at the moment struggling, and Cox has slipped. This is in Dyer, and Tranmere have the lead. And so often teams that are relegated play with a lot of confidence, and then Dyer has scored. Is the time up? Nielsen, and at last they have something to cheer about. It's too little too late, but Cox's cross ensures at least it isn't a defeat. Smith, no one has worked harder today. And the goalkeeper came out, and the whistle goes. Uriah Rennie ends proceedings at 1-1. It's First Division soccer for Watford next season for sure. In 1977, he walked on that pitch with Elton John, who was trying to persuade him to become manager. 24 years later, he walks on the pitch. One of the most respected men in football, and a man who has done more for the town of Watford probably than any of us will ever see in our lifetimes. And the driver of the 5 o'clock bus is probably wondering where all the supporters have gone. How fitting too, and how typical. Time for the disabled supporters. And this really, I suppose, one of those I was there occasions for the lucky thousands of whatever generation. There is one man who is not here.
Hi Graham, this is Elton. I'm in Atlanta preparing to do a show with Billy Joel. You can hear the drummer in the background rehearsing. It's your last home game today against Tranmere. Obviously, I hope that we win, and it's a roaring send-off for you. And I'd like to wish you all the best in the future. You've been a great friend of Watford, a great friend of the community, of the club, and myself. We've gone through many great times together, and the memories will never, ever fade, for me anyway. You continue to be a dear and cherished friend, and long after you've left Watford Football Club, I'm sure our friendship will still be as strong as ever. So have a wonderful day today, and know that I'm with you in spirit, even though I can't be there. And to all our supporters who have been so magnificent towards you and myself throughout the years, thank you for all the support, and this will probably be the last time you are able to sing Elton John's Tailor-Made Army. So it's a sad day, but I wish you all the best.
And guess who was to have the last word?
I'm going to surprise everybody here by just saying thank you very, very much. Since 1977, 24 years ago, Rita and myself and our 2 young children made the trip down to Watford. It was a journey, as I've said in my programme notes, that was going to change our lives, and I'd say very much for the better. When I look round the ground now, and I'm sure you'll appreciate it yourselves, I look across at the Rouse stand, the Schrodels. You remember the Schrodels? The first time we came here was the Greyhound track round about it, the old rookery at that end, the open end at that end. We've just got to change this one now. And for those of you who are even older than me, the ugly corner, wasn't it? Did you call it the ugly corner with the brambles on and think that's where Elton first started watching Watford as a youngster, stood in the corner there, where in fact the boxes are now. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very, very much. It's been a pleasure to work for you and with you. I love the town, I love the place, and I'm sure it's not the last that we'll see one another, but you won't see me in that dugout again, or that dugout where it used to be. Those days are over now. Thank you very much. Thank you.
But Watford had to hit the road twice before that tracksuit could finally be hung up. First, a rearranged trip to Gillingham. Good chance, and Helgeson at the second time of asking. Ball through. This is Smith, still going. Very well taken. It's 2-0, and Tommy Smith has added to Heather Helgeson's. And that's a lovely effort, lovely goal. Way King. The final game of the season took Watford to Turf Moor Burnley for a very special occasion. The last time Graham off a team bus with the halo of manager over his head. The autographs will still have to be signed in the years to come. You can bank on that. And a large contingent of Watford fans headed to Lancashire to send him into retirement very much on and up. Very few people are given the full treatment on the day of their last game. Sam Ellis, brought by Taylor that very first season at Watford, assistant manager at Burnley, made sure that his team were part of a very special moment for Graham Taylor. Stan Ternant with Graham Taylor. And now, for them both, a very special walk. Well, I know he's been deeply touched by the presentations he's received on his travels, but this is the very last for Graham Taylor. And if you talk to Watford supporters, the two words that probably mean most that he utters is our club. And he's really ensured this is a club where everybody matters. When the game started, things didn't quite go so well. Playing good play, good pressure again. And this is the chance they've been waiting for. And Andy Payton has put Burnley into the lead finally. Helgeson, great chance to equalise, and in the end it's cleared away. Now for Mullin, that settles it. It's 2-0 Burnley, it's the double over Watford. The final whistle brings the curtain down. Not the result he would have wanted. The sporting handshake to the end. For a man who's smiled through so much in football. And the affection so many other supporters have had for Graham Taylor, so clearly manifest in these scenes. escorted by Stan Ternant. Have to know this man to realise his genuine affection not only for the football club but for the town of Watford, which for so many years has been home to himself, his wife Rita and their family. The final league table shows Watford in 9th place on 69 points. 20 wins, 9 draws and 17 defeats. But one final gathering, the traditional end-of-season dinner. Directors, players and officials gather with supporters. No doubt who was the star of the show.
Cheese.
For once, on level terms with Rita. And one of the few occasions where the players can take their partners. After dinner, there would be the final presentations. Some recipients known, some recipients unknown. But first, a case for the doc.
Those 6 for that half. I don't think she get married at all.
So to the awards. Micah Hyde, display of the season for his part in that vintage 4-3 win at Blackburn on that Tuesday night in September. The goal against Norwich wins goal of the season for Nordin Vuta. Tommy Smith, young player of the season, England under 21, and above all, a product of Hertfordshire. And for the second time, Tommy Mooney is named player of the season. 22 goals were a record for him. A record for Graham Taylor to keep, presented by club captain Robert Page and senior player Nigel Gibbs. Flowers for her and for him on a quiet day at the training ground. Final reflections.
Obviously, we picked the story up in early December, Graham, and you'd had a couple of very disappointing home results. Sheffield Wednesday was the one that particularly, and it was beginning to get a little bit worrying.
Yeah.
And Bolton started so well. You'd gone a goal up at half-time.
Yes, we did, but I mean, the number of times I'm probably going to say this in the second half of the season was defensively. We gave some very poor goals away, and in this particular occasion, Robert Page was trying to keep a ball in play or protect it for it to go out of play, when really it just wanted dealing with. And if you remember, that cost a goal and we lost the game 2-1, and yet we had started so very well in the first half. There was really, you say, well, haven't they done their 1-0, and it really is Watford's game. But it was to be the story of the second half, particularly the very bad goals that we gave away from a defensive point of view.
And you talk about second half, not only the season, but it was second half of matches that was catching you out.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace the following week, the same again, and West Brom through December. some quite decent 45 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, we went to Crystal Palace, as you quite rightly say, played very well, didn't put the ball in the net on that particular occasion, and then the boy Morrison scored a goal. It bounced a little bit for him, but once again unmarked in the box.
And what, I know, not good from a manager's point of view, probably one of the best games to watch if you were a neutral at Vicarage Road all season was the 3-3 draw with West Brom. Yeah. Tommy Mooney getting it back late on, but it was, one to make the manager feel about 160.
I mean, the thing is, we were 2-0 up. People might say a little bit against the run of play, but you're 2-0 up at home, and you're not looking then to be 3-2 down and having to find an equaliser to get something out of the game. And you can look at a number of games in that second half of the season. You can look certainly at the West Brom where you're 2-0 up. You can look at Portsmouth later on where we were 2-0 up. You can look at Stockport 2-1 up with the game all over, and we picked out 3 points for what should have been 9. So there's 6 points. And your 6 points, you're adding them onto our total that we finished and we're in the playoffs. I mean, we really did throw our playoff position away. I mean, it was always going to be up for grabs, an automatic place, but we really did throw that playoff position away in the second half of the season.
Probably the lowest point, I don't want to dwell on it, was obviously Boxing Day and Fulham. But it was tremendous to see how the boys responded, because 5 days later you've gone to Barnsley on a desperate night, freezing cold, and the battling qualities in a 1-0 win lifted everybody so much.
Well, that was tremendous. I mean, we'd once again, we can't just bypass the Fulham defeat, because after that particular game I was very, very annoyed. I went home and I really sort of was very low that day, because we'd gone out there with a plan, and fine, Fulham weren't ripping us apart, they weren't having many shots, we weren't doing a great deal of them, but if you were the visiting side against the league leaders who were prolific goal scorers, you'd be quite happy the way it was going. And then a penalty and a free header from the 6-yard box again, you're 2-0 down, and we collapsed then in the second half. There was never ever going to be any way back for us, and I went home that particular night and was very, very down, because this was a thumping. There are losses and the losses, but nobody likes losing 5-0 to anybody, and I was not happy there. And then, to be fair, we went to Barnsley and got a very good win.
Alan Nielsen scored that night, and his goals, one of the highlights. I know you spend a lot of money on him, but to get him those goals is a lovely bonus.
Yeah, you've got a midfield player scoring 11. I mean, one of the ironies of this particular season, we've got a goal scorer with 22 in Tommy Mooney. We've got a midfield fellow with 11. Our other goal scorer, Tom Smith, has got a dozen goals. But I mean, just to have 1 over 20 and a midfield player going into double figures, there's a lot of things that we got right. But it paid against us, because defensively we were not good enough. And I'm not just talking now about in our penalty box and things like that. I'm talking about when we lost the ball as a team. We never worked hard enough, in my opinion, to get it back from where we lost it. Now, you could lose it in the opposition's half, and you do lose the ball a lot of times in the opposition's half, and that should be your first line of defence. So it's all right sometimes looking at the very almost juvenile mistakes that we made, but sometimes you've got to look, where was the ball lost originally, and what was the initial reaction to try to win it back. And in the second half of the season, that part of our play was sadly missing on a number of occasions.
I'd like to highlight just a couple of, as the season wore on, a couple of really memorable home performances that lifted everybody so much.
Good.
Norwich was the first one.
Yeah.
A tremendous all-round performance, and Nordin Vuta, that first goal ended up as goal of the season.
Well, it was an excellent goal, wasn't it?
And it was so sad for so many. We all gasped when, within the 45 minutes he'd thrilled us and then was carried off on a stretcher.
Yeah, but I mean, at that time, Nordin, you see, that goal typifies what Nordin and how Nordin should be playing, going direct at people, going for the heart, going for the jugular. And he's very capable of doing that. But a lot of occasions, when Nordin got the ball, very pleasing to the eye, very exciting, but other players would never know on occasions when he was going to cross the ball. You can't make runs. You never knew when a cross was going to come. Everybody would be very happy. From a spectator and a supporter point of view, Nordin having the ball is going to take people on. Imagine now that you're a player and you're wanting to make a run, and you don't know when that ball is going to come in. And the number of times, not just myself, but we're saying, Nordin, you're going to have to deliver that ball, and we're going to have to know when you're going to deliver it. Now, every now and again, by not delivering it, you'll do what he did against Norwich, and it becomes the goal of the season because it's such an exception. But you see, you don't win things on exceptions, you win things on consistency.
And the other night was the game was Nottingham Forest, and we talked about one of the highlights of the season being the emergence of Tommy Smith and so on. A vintage night for Tommy Smith with some wonderful play that night.
He played very, very well, and what Tommy has got, he's got this ability to put the opposition out of the game by taking them on. He can go down either flank, he can go down the right or the left-hand side and cut the ball back, and he made a lot of goals that way, as well as scoring his own dozen. And he has the potential, Tommy, to go all the way. He still has a number of things to learn. I think he'll be the first to admit. Sometimes he wants a clear sight of goal before he shoots, and to get your high total, you've got to hit the ball, and you've got to hit it early. And so he has to improve on that. But in terms of touch and ability and taking people on and being a threat and having the pace, then Tommy's got that. And what I'm hoping now is that this next season we'll see him gain by the experience that he's had, because next season Tommy has to be seen as a player with something possibly like about 50 or 60 games behind him. So you'll be looking for a big improvement next year.
No, and Platty came out with his hands up afterwards, and those two games particularly, it was like going back to sort of August, September, wasn't it?
Yeah,
scoring goals for fun.
No, that's right. I mean, to be fair to Nottingham Forest, they were unfortunate to lose 3-0 because we'd scored the goals in the first half, and then the second half they put us on the back foot a little bit. Norwich, we played extremely well. I mean, that was we'd gone 1-0 down, but that was a very fair reflection of the play, a 4-1 win. We played some excellent stuff and put the ball in the net. And quite honestly, throughout the season, Mike, we have played some good stuff. There's been no doubt about that. It's not that we've played badly. It's just that we have been so inconsistent.
And after Tranmere, the end of an era.
Yeah.
A great moment for you. And I know what made it particularly special was the grandchildren up in the director's box, and also the fact that all the players when they came out. Robert Page has got his son. There was a collection of Moonies and various other things, and it summed up really so much about the ethos
about the club. I mean, I go back many times. I remember having my photograph taken for the start of the season, holding two very young babies. I don't know whether one was one of the Rostron children who was then sort of just so. That's always been at the club and the family enclosure and what have you. That particular day, obviously I got carried away a little bit with it because I've seen all of the children. I was then asked to say something, and of course I knew that my grandchildren were there, and young Jake, just looking over the top of the director's box, could hear this voice, and evidently he knew I was on the big screen, so he's looking at the big screen, but he doesn't understand where the voice is coming from, and yours truly got carried away a little bit by saying, Jake, I'm over here, and he never really picked it out.
And finally, as we end this video looking back over the season, it's right that the final word to the supporters should be from the manager, whose record will never be surpassed at this football club in our lifetimes.
Well, let's hope that's not the case. Let's hope records are there to be broken. It's a massive thank you, isn't it, for everything. I think, we've been through so many things together over these 15-year periods, split into a 10-year and a 5-year period. There's been so many things. It really is difficult at the sound of being boastful, knowing where to start and where to finish. The finishing is the easiest part because that's what's happening now. I'm not going to be a football club manager again. And people have taken that up as that I'm retiring full stop. Well, I'm not. I'm not retiring off the face of the earth. I've certainly no intention of doing that, but I'm not going to go back into that dugout at club level again.
The end of an era, one that no one who was involved will ever forget.